So, Kristen, I like it that you have a picture of a vault and, you know, open your vault and here are the keys. Here are the keys to thriving, something like that, because each of those are principles. It could be vision. It could be a bad conversation. It could be, like you said, a breakup. It could be anything. It doesn't always have to be vision impaired related, but because they're principles, they're keys that you can use to actually unlock the vault to then step in from survival to thriving. But you got to go through some framing. So the way I was hearing all that is, first of all, how do you frame it? The curveball. Are you bringing in the old, the poor me, this shouldn't have happened. Why? Or are you bringing in, okay, because like you said, we drop into emotion, right? And emotion is energy in motion, and that can really drive some crazy thoughts. It could drive anger. It could drive self-pity. It could drive, how can I best move through this curveball and get to the other side? So, it's hard to own an emotion. Like you said, feel it. What is it? Own it. Don't judge it. Don't say I'm a loser because of it. Just look at it and say, okay, I feel this way in this moment. And then I got to go move to the next part. I think it's skills, or like how can I move through this instead of blaming the event, right? Instead of complaining and rationalizing, justifying, defending, and making excuses for what happened, take responsibility for my part in that situation. And then I take the next key and I start looking at, well, how can I grow from this? How can I be of service from this? Who can I help because of this lesson that my creator or my stupidity brought to me? And, yesterday I had a backpack blower on and I have a cane in my left hand and I'm going and trying to blow and, and it was funny if people were watching, but I didn't care. But then I stepped back on the lawn and I stepped in a little hole and I went down. And, backpack blowers are heavier and me going down right now isn't great. But, when I fell on my bad side. But I don't call it that. It's all how we frame it, right? It's how do we frame that event, that situation, that stimulus. How I framed my vision loss was horrible for years, and I paid a price. I suffered. I was in survival and suffering for years because the way I framed it. I never saw, what could I do with this? How can I best, I didn't think that way. So yesterday when I fell, I didn't get upset. Like, I didn't say, this sucks. Why does this always happen to me? Can I ever get a break? This is amazing. I have been through so much lately. I laughed. I just laughed and said, I take responsibility. I put a dang backpack blower on me. I don't have the strongest legs right now. And I didn't fall on my bad side. I fell. I don't have a bad side. It's all how the framing and like Clark said, the words we put around it. And that's what helps me then say, okay, I learned my lesson, Kristen, yesterday. You know what it was? Don't walk backwards with a backpack blower on. It wasn't don't do blowing of leaves because fall's here. It wasn't anything but, okay, I get it. Don't walk backwards. That was silly. I stepped in a hole. And now I want to fill that hole, but I know it's there. So these are the things I'm hearing through this, that vault of, there was an old me that the door to my value vault was shut. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have somebody like you or an academy or a book, Thriving Blind, to help me start to see I have value. I do bring something to the table. I mean, that's where it started for me. And like you, oh my God, I can't believe I have that Journey song in my head. Because
it takes them forever to get to that chorus too, by the way.
And I'm probably not going to learn that on the guitar. But anyway, it's like first I had to just be willing to believe. Like, is it possible that I bring something to the table? I mean, that's how down I was. But I've done a lot of work, especially on my vision loss. All that's not an issue anymore. But life keeps happening. And, you know, obviously, I can't find the gratitude yet in my accident. Like, I am so grateful for, I mean, I did get a new scooter out of the deal. But that isn't, you know, I do see some value in what I brought to the table during the accident. And then, and I have an issue with my brother, and he's ill, and he said some things that blew me away. It wasn't him. Very hurtful things. And he kept hitting me in text messages and told me to pull my head out of my, you know what? I'm like, what? Whoa, where is this coming from? And I went into my value vault. You know, is this true? Is this my brother? What's going on? Why is he acting this way? What is it about him or my experience lately that has upset him? Now, I didn't take it personal because it wasn't true. I didn't say, that's it. Oh, well, okay. At first, I was like, I am going to teach him a lesson. And then I said, no lesson. Actually, I blocked him for a little while on my phone because he was rage. He has anger. He has things. He has not tapped into his value vault. And if we're too far gone, it's hard to get that door open. But with the right keys and the pamphlet, and Kristen, for me, you got kinesthetic, you got auditory, you've got, you got visual. You know, even though I'm low vision, I'm visual. I like writing with that nice smelling Sharpie at times. and because that experience from brain hand to paper creates a pathway in my brain. I also like hearing it. I'm very auditory. I'm very kinesthetic. Like I use my hands. I'm not Braille. So a pamphlet, it just has to read. For me, it would need to be on the screen, and I read, and then I hear, oh, this is a picture of a vault, and inside this brochure are the keys to how you will be able to thrive through all things that come at you, all curveballs that present in your life. Because guess what? If we're alive, they're coming.